This place even smells wrong.
No. I had to kill a man once who did blood magic on nugs. 100 little pigs with hands came after me. All together in one big writhing ball. Have you ever tried to stab a ball of angry nugs? That was a bad job.
I've got a better one. You know what the Wandering Hills are named for? It's a monster. Big heap of red tentacles that crawls around, devouring everything in its path. The damn thing was a hillside, the size of a village. You try fighting a hill with a sword sometime.
How did you kill it?
Lamp oil. Everything stank of burnt tentacles for miles after.
If the two of you were going to open a bottle, you might have told me first.
It's not a good bottle.
Might have to pick up a supply. I have a feeling we'll need it. Is anyone else hungry? Maybe I should cook something.
What about you, Rook? What's the worst job you've ever been on?
I don't think they get worse than Weishaupt.
No, Weishaupt was a shit show. Bad jobs are a different beast.
Weishaupt was a lot of beasts stuffed into a burning fortress.
You joining us then?
Fine. I'll cook something, if Rook's staying.
Maybe just for a minute.
Rook's story first. Then Lucanus owes me one about this contract on a Bronto.
Mierda. That Bronto.
She felt it all over. Her attraction to the hero, a powerful but properly contained tingle, nearly exquisite. Properly contained. No, sounds bad. Okay, cut the middle line, much more natural.
What are you working on?
Oh! Rook! I didn't see you. What did you hear?
Not sure what it was, but it sounded pretty good.
Oh, really? Well, thank you. Nev found me more cereals. I've read them, all of them, multiple times. And I thought maybe I could try it, writing my own, I mean. Not like Varric Tethris, but my own sort of thing. For me, and people like me. Something to focus on besides Syrian and all of that. And you know, you're also interesting. It helps for inspiration.
Fighting ancient gods does keep things interesting.
And you know the rest. It's impressive what you've done, I mean, brought everyone together. You're a good person, really.
Just don't tell anyone. I've got a reputation to uphold.
Right. Your secret's safe with me. But I'm probably not the only one, you know, who notices. People look up to you, and more are going to when this is over. Anyways, thanks, Rook. I'll talk to you later. Gotta finish this scene.
Rook, darling, I was thinking of spending an evening with just the two of us.
I'd like that.
Wonderful. I've made all the arrangements at the necropolis. We'll leave whenever you're ready. How did you find everything?
Best meal I've had in a graveyard.
One advantage of being senior staff is requisitioning the kitchen's better cooks.
You did that just for me?
I'd hoped the evening might impress. The amount of work on you worries me, Rook. Responsibility exacts a toll on the body.
I have been more tired lately.
More so than you might even realize. I do ask that you at least avoid putting pressure on that stiff left wrist.
It's a little stiff. Impressed you spotted it.
Well, I am familiar with the finer points of anatomy. It's good we made time for this. A couple should get to know one another in comfort.
Time to dig into our feelings?
I'd be delighted if the mood moves you.
Devastating charm aside, what do you like about me?
Apart from the compliment of your interest?
Come on.
Darling, it's gratifying a fresh-faced adventurer noticed me at all. And your spirit does charm, but there's also something quite indomitable about you, Rook. It inspires.
Oh, thanks. What's your favorite color?
Well, can I only choose one?
Let me guess. Black? Green? Yellow, but like, bone yellow.
Lilac.
Of course you went to a flower.
It's such a pretty shade of purple. It brings thoughts of spring. And what's your favorite shade of color?
There's too many for me to pick.
Oh, come now. You made me choose.
No, I just implied you had to choose.
And you wonder why I'm afraid to play cards with you.
This is one of the more romantic dates I've been on.
How wonderful. I was afraid I'd lost my touch. Between work and research and teaching Manfred, there hasn't been time lately for company.
How lately?
No one's serious for a few years. Apart from that, I'd prefer we leave the past be.
All right. Stay a man of mystery. Anyway, should we enjoy the garden?
Certainly. They're wondering what we're up to. Wisps are ever attracted to the gardens.
Like you?
The Fade is close here. As are spirits I count as guides and friends. Beyond that, I feel there are mysteries past our comprehension. Something beyond the weft of magic or deepest Fade. When I'm fortunate, I spy suggestions of them here.
You're so philosophical around flowers.
It's the purpose of the gardens, to lift our thoughts to something higher and finer than we are.
Like that?
Sometimes, my dear, I think you indulge me.
When I'm in the mood.
I'd heard of archdemons before, but never one like that.
Honestly, with everything I've heard about Gillenane, I'm glad it wasn't worse. In the legends about her, she's nice. She created the Hala. She guides us to our destination. But if you read between the lines, it's, well, creepy.
Oh, good.
Careful with that.
But of course.
It's the only lead I've got.
My dear Davron, I'll be as careful with this cloth as if it were burial silk from the Storm Age. And this will be so instructive for Manfred. Ah, Rook, just in time.
Need some help?
Give it a minute. We'll see. That piece of cloth I tore off the Gloom Howler back at the cauldron still has some of its blood on it.
And now, through the application of necromancy, perfected by the Morn Watch through years of meticulous...
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the Gloom Howler is.
rather discern its nature.
How?
By setting it on fire?
Patience. To discern, one must sometimes destroy. Ah, yes, of course. How interesting.
What is it?
It says this was elven blood. This was a person.
What? But it howls.
A corrupted person. Not always a monster. And something else. Dirthsel. I'm unfamiliar with the meaning.
An elven word for covenant. Like a promise or a blood oath. I think I get it. An elf who took a vow, then gets blighted, An elf who knew about griffins and Warden's secrets.
Almost as if.
It was a Warden. It's one of us.
Hunting a monster is one thing, but a warden gone bad? What will it do to the griffins?
It kept talking about saving them. Something else is going on here. I'll put out the word, call in favors, see who might know more. But thanks for your help, Emmerich. You, discerned well.
My pleasure.
This smells amazing. Does all coffee smell like this? Or just the stuff you make?
Coffee has a distinct aroma, if that's what you're asking.
Sorry. It was really rare where I grew up. And expensive.
Is it really a good idea having another coffee addict round here?
It's not really addictive, is it?
You know how Darkspawn are always searching for something? It's coffee.
I don't believe you.
So, Harding, what do you think?
It's... delicious.
Really selling it, Harding.
Hey! I've known some liars, and I am definitely not it. And this stuff? It's good. It's warm.
I won't be upset if you don't like coffee.
He really wouldn't.
I know, but, sorry. It's just this thing I do sometimes.
Acting so people will like you?
It sounds terrible when you say it like that. I know I don't need to do it. I just do.
Well, everyone you know seems to like you, so you're good.
Good job, Lace.
You must have been pretty tiny as a child.
Where'd that come from?
A tiny dwarven girl in a land of large human farmers.
Oh, yeah. I probably learned pretty quick that things worked out better if people liked me. If they agreed with me, or I agreed with them.
Some people like cream or sugar in their coffee.
Maybe coffee just isn't my thing.